Good morning, Spartans. Welcome to what's today? Thursday. Yes, Jobless and PPI Day. Hope everybody had a great day yesterday. I know we did in the private group. Ended up going 5 for 5 yesterday, so can't complain about that. We we were losing, and it was by a sheer miracle that the IWM that we were playing yesterday came back. But hey, it did, and we were able to take profit at our PT. So um, ultimately, that's what matters. So, and then it kept going. So hey, sometimes you're good, and sometimes you're just lucky. And yesterday we were both. We had some great trades yesterday, and then like I said, was lucky on that um, IWM. So alrighty. Let's hadn't really done a whole lot of looking at the market. I'm seeing that pullback. Um, we did have PPI and jobless this morning at 8:30, as you can tell. The market reacted negatively to that. So opposite of what we've seen on CPI earlier in the week, but all right. So of course, if you've been here, you know the drill. I'm going to jump in and do the private groups morning setup, get those guys up and rolling, and then we'll come back and we will fix our SPY chart, fix our IWM chart, get those um, set up for today. Didn't expect that. Yeah, get those set up for today. So sorry, just looking over a few things. If you have any questions while I'm gone, um, please post up there in chat. Um, Anything you want me to look at, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, all the above, what have you. Put it up there in chat, and I'll get those taken care of. Also, I put our website up there, and also my direct email in case you had any questions about anything. So I am an open book. I'll be more than happy to talk to you, explain anything you would like. So um, well, please let me know. All right, I'm gonna jump in, get started on this private group stuff, and then yeah. Eyes watering. Gosh, I I was sleeping good. I feel like I could just go back to sleep. Oh, can't get woke up. Oh, all right. Got that posted for those guys in the private group. Gonna do one or two more things here, and then we are going to start getting some charting set up. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So. Let's let's jump in, start knocking out some of this charting here. get SPY pulled up here on the main chart so we can take a look at it. So first thing, we knew all-time high yesterday. At that opening range, 646.19. So easy, we can just change our color there. And then this one was PM high as well, which we can kill. This is our opening range low and PM low. Do we want to keep that? That's from Tuesday. Let's keep that today, just for the heck of it. This was opening range low Wednesday. And this was PM low Wednesday. Just kind of want to watch those today. Reason being is because we started here, which is looks like it's going to be our PM. Get this out of the way. Which is going to be our pre-market high, pre-market low here. But before PPI came out, we were quite choppy, quite narrow, and a lot of it focused right around this opening range low we had yesterday. But now we're down to this PM low, and it looks like we're bouncing there. So with this kind of sideways action and the start of this sideways action right on these levels, I want to make sure I continue watching these levels through today. So next we're going to set up our pre-market high and low, which is pretty simple. Just come in here, 645.24. Like I said yesterday, that's 645.25. It's at 645.24. That penny's not really going to matter. Oh, shucks. Seriously. I'm trying to say something and fudge that up. Anyway, that penny's not going to matter, so I'm not too concerned about it. And then we're going to designate it our colors, lock it in. We're done. I'm going to click on this one, delete it, and that's our pre-market high. Then we're going to come in, do the same thing, 641.36, 641.36, and that's going to be our pre-market low. Lock it in, done. So we got high, low, and then we got our levels we're watching, our all-time high level here, and then we do have that one from Tuesday down here that you can see if we back out a little. So here. Reason I'm going a little heavy on these orange lines is because we're at this all-time high. We don't really have anything to base support and resistance off of since we're up in this upper area, or this no man's land that I like to call it. So this just gives us a little bit more trajectory, I guess you could say, a little bit more outlook on what we may see. And just remember, indicators are not set in stone. They are not indicating you what a stock will do, but what they could do. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, so that's SPY. We'll jump over, do the same thing on IWM. What levels do we want to watch here? I think I want to do the same. And this is our pre-market high from yesterday. So let's mark that pre-market high Wednesday. And we're doing this once again because we're in between these two ranges. I didn't do it here. Well, I did do it there. Excuse me. If we're over, then I'll only do the closest one or under. But since we're kind of in the chop in the middle, I'd like to do both. And once again, not exact science, and this is something I've just recently started trying, and it seems to be working out well. So I'm gonna keep going with it. And this is opening range low Wednesday. One thing about trading is you always need to evolve, change, try new things. Or you're going to get left behind. Just like I said, I've been trading for a long time, and I just now started using these orange lines, and it's working out. I like it. Let's go ahead and grab this pre-market low since we're down here. 227.47, 227. Why are you not giving it to me? Seriously? 227.47. Pre-market low. And then pre-market high. Where are you at? Morning, what's up, pup? How are you doing today, sir? And pre-market high. Lock that one in. All right, so those are set up. And then we're quite a ways away from this one, so we can kill that. Don't want to clutter up the charts. And then I got this one that we can delete. That was pre-market low from yesterday. That one can go. That was a good push there on IWM yesterday. I didn't think we were going to get it. We kind of got in right right here on a call. Took this big dip and then rebounded. But dude, I am still waking up myself, coffee in hand. But I just cannot wake up this morning. I have no idea why. I mean, I'm by nature not a morning person, but usually by the time I'm on stream, I'm okay. But today, I feel like I could go lay down right now and I'd be asleep within a minute or two. I don't know why. No clue. Oh gosh. All right. So we got roughly 3 minutes left. Make sure you guys are checking your accounts so you know what you cannot get into. Weeble's having a futures market live seminar today. That's cool. Make sure you know what you can't get into. Check your accounts, your balances, all that. Just a good refresh. Alrighty. Minute and a half, guys. Just looking over some account stuff. Apple and Google looks like it's wanting to push in the bill. Let's, while we got a second, I want to pull up Hood, see what it's doing. Okay. And what else did I want to look at? Core's going to be down, Boeing's going to be down. Nice rejection there off that resistance. Here. All right, here we go, guys. Market is now open. Walmart gapped up there. It wasn't liking that 100 level. A few things gapping up. We had this big drop. I mentioned it in the private group. We had jobless and PPI numbers came out this morning at 8:30. We talked about it earlier in the week. Especially after CPI came out, that we could see some movement off of the economic news today. So hopefully everybody took heed to that. That should get us through. I think we had consumer sentiments today at 10. I don't know. I have to look in a minute, but nothing major. But it looks like some of the market is wanting to retrace this drop that we had seen from PPI, CPI. That Apple just has moved this week. I tried to push up there for a minute. Walmart lost that retest. Definitely going to give it some time today, guys, just to see if we can filter out some of this chop and that movement from that PPI this morning. Definitely don't want to get into a losing trade first thing in the morning. That always is not a good way to start the day. Drop. No. About 5 minutes in, and of course, still just watching. I was wrong. We do not have anything today at 10. So, jobless was this morning. PPI, core PPI, a bunch of PPI data. Tomorrow we have U.S. retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing, import price index. Okay, tomorrow is business inventories and consumer sentiment. Gosh, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, tomorrow we've got quite a few things going on, but I wouldn't expect major market movers like CPI and PPI have been this week. But it is Friday, so I would kind of be careful. Next week, got some stuff on Thursday. Jobless, Philadelphia manufacturing survey. Not really concerned about existing home sales. That kind of that's really about it. And then of course we'll see if anything gets added to the calendar for next week. But we should be through everything today. This Fed speak, I'm not too concerned about that this afternoon. So AMD up to resistance there. Nvidia trying to push AMD. I do like that. Let's see if we can break over that resistance level. While we got a sec, if you guys are here and not in the private group, if you see something that you want us to take a look at, something that you're watching, or vice versa, if you see something that we don't, post up there in chat and let's take a look at it. It only helps everybody as a group, a community. So, and make sure you give us a follow there on Twitch if you haven't yet. Spy test and VWAP. Cute little there on Nvidia as well. Let's look at Intel. Here to Intel to be pushing a little bit better than what it is. What about SMCI? AMD is just a rocket to the upside. Watch it coming into this 185.28. perfect rejection off that PM high from yesterday on IWM. So that worked out well. PayPal dropping back. Still too early, guys. We're only 15 minutes in. No need to chase any of this stuff. Need to wait for that market setup. Just clearing out some of this old stuff from earlier in the week that we were in. Perfect rejection there on AMD. Video looks like it's wanting to reverse as well. AMD's trying to retest, and NVIDIA just keeps pushing. Right at 20 minutes in, guys. Still no trades. Watching for good setup here. SPY coming into a very choppy area. We could see a drop back here. A few things are wanting to see the market to the upside. Opening range low coming up here on SPY from Wednesday, from yesterday. See what we do here. We're pushing through this support and resistance, this moving support and resistance that we like watching. I told the group we would at least see this level this morning on SPY, and we did. This next section through that 644.52, I am just not sure about. NVIDIA, AMD both dropping. And there's that rejection on SPY that I was looking at here. So far, no clean breaks, no clean um, direction on anything. I full transparency, I was looking at this AMD Nvidia puts here. Super lotto counter trend on a big push. I I was chicken. I didn't pull the trigger. Kind of wish we would have now. Um, I was looking at the 180p at around $80. It's now at 120. Actually, 117, 118, 15. I I was looking here, and then all of a sudden we had that big drop, and I'm like, I'm not chasing this, especially into this peach line and everything. I seen that room for consolidation, but didn't want to chase that one. I mean, we're 26 minutes in. Could have easily gone either direction. One thing I talked about in the private group was this big drop that we've seen. You get a lot of uncertainty when you get a big drop or a big push. You know, I would have the same reaction if that pre-market drop was a pre-market push. You just don't know how the market's going to react. You want a slow and steady incline or decline for a trend movement. Anything violent like that is very volatile, and you're just not sure how the market's going to react. If it's slow, steady in a direction, then you know more than likely that hey, we're building that momentum, we're going to keep it. That quick pop either direction, you don't know if it's going to sustain, if it's going to reverse, what it's going to do. So that's why in the pre-market prep, one thing I said this morning was we just got to give it some time and see what it wants to do, and that's what we're doing. I know it's boring, especially for you guys, because we're just kind of sitting, waiting, and watching. But I'm sure everybody out there in trader land would agree that they would much rather sit and watch, and maybe miss out on a trade or two, but knowing that they're not losing money is primary. That's number one. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. A few more minutes and we'll go ahead and set our opening range on SPY and IWM. Get that out of the way. And then we'll really start focusing down and seeing if we could come up with something on a few of these. We also talked about a lot about consolidation this week. These big drops and big pushes give us room for consolidation. Just like here on SPY. this big drop. We were right here at this peach line. That big drop, followed by this one, followed by this one, gave us a lot of room between here and that peach. So we had room for it to come back up and meet. And then what does it do? It meets it and then slowly comes back down. Even though a lot of that worked its way out, but now we're seeing it in the other direction. We had a good rejection here, came back to that peach line. Ideally, I wouldn't really start looking at taking SPY calls until we're up over this end of this range and possibly over that 645.25. Over that 645.25, I would feel better about it. But a lot can happen between now and then. So we're 30 minutes in. Opening range is set. We'll just have to give it a few minutes and then we'll chart that out. All right. So 33, 34 minutes in, let's go ahead and set up that opening range IWM and SPY. We'll nail this IWM since we're here. Very tight. We might even have to zoom in even further. 228.80. So that's going to be our opening range high. And then 227.61 looks like our opening range low. Okay. Now let's do the same here on SPY. Put SPY up here on the main chart. uh, Laughing, I was talking about a stock in our private group, and then my buddy Nicholas alerts it right after I. Great minds think alike, buddy. All right, so opening range is going to be 244.25. And that's going to be our opening range high. And then this one, I'm just going to edit this to that because opening range is right there. And then we'll just note it this way. Opening range low Thursday. Remember on my chart, that happens a lot in there. It does. It does. That's funny. I just quickly looked at it. I guess he was taking a deeper look at it than I was. I was going to give it a few more minutes, but he obviously. I didn't take the trade. I need to, but I was busy here. But I'll pull it up in a second and take a look at it. But this dotted line allows me to know that this line represents more than one thing. So today it is going to be that pre-market low from yesterday and our opening range low from today. So I just noted that on the side. All right, let's. Ooh, goodness. Let's jump back in here. Glad to see you made it back on, Chris. Guess work wasn't too bad last night. Hey, what's up, Leaf? How are you doing, sir? The time I got off stream yesterday, and then I went over checked you out. You had already quit for the day. I was like, dang it. And then I got busy and didn't get with you. But I plan on PMing you and getting set up with what we were talking about. I mean, if you still want to do it, I've got to get my Twitch set up on here, or excuse me, on the PS. Yeah, that's what you were saying, Chris. I hate to hear that, man. You seemed quite busy. Spy testing that opening range high. Like I said earlier, I'm not a big fan over it until we get to that 644.52 and get that out of the way. So looks like Nick just PT'd on this trade. So I'll get that posted for you guys. This was the BABA. He took the 120p. He alerted it at, what was that, 42? 49, excuse me. 0.49 and PT would have been 0.59 at 20%. We have been mostly full and ED has non-stop lately. I'm going to be by myself the whole month of October. Holy crap, dude. You need to hire you some help or something. About 120p. 10.9 PT. So here's that chart on BABA. Still looks like it wants more of the downside. So that will be good. Gosh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Chris. Hospital can be a weird place, dude. I mean, it's like they make a shit ton of money, but if you're not like a doctor or surgeon, they don't really care to pay. Oh, That's true. That is very true. Trading is kind of like job security too. What, a small hospital compared to your last one? Holy crap! Like in the whole hospital, you only have 11 patient rooms. IWM trying to break this opening range low from yesterday, but then we have our opening range today and then our pre-market low. I want to. So last one had 500 rooms and was over 1 million square feet. I want to know. You're talking about the entire hospital, right? I would like to know what our local hospital has. I bet we have more than just 11 rooms in the ER. Or, yeah, 11 rooms. We have a nursing home attached that's bigger. Jeez, that's crazy. Yeah, I bet our ED's bigger than that. We've actually got two hospitals in our town. One is kind of catch all, whatever they call it, and then the other is like a women's and children's specific hospital. And then we have a couple bigger hospitals about 30 minutes north of us. Yeah, that's kind of the way it is around here. If it's bad, they get shipped to that next town up north. Still, just kind of hanging out, watching guys. Um, we we took one trade um, as a swing trade that we're still in. We took another trade that Nikolai has posted in the private group, which was this one. It dropped back down to entry, but it's back up. Um, Still looks good. That's what we were watching there on that Baba. But other than that, just kind of watching. Not a whole lot going on. No real good setups. Really for trauma center. Most decent sized places are level 3. Push level 1. That's where the most of your stuff goes. I want to say we're a level 3, and then that town north of us is a level 1, I think. That's beyond my knowledge and pay grade, though. That was my kids. I spent plenty of long nights near the ED. All right, spies breaking over that opening range high, looking for this orange. What was that? Opening range on Wednesday. Once we get over that, then we need to base, and I would like to see more to the upside. Yeah, no bad stuff, especially when life flight's involved. If if it's bad enough, they'll just go ahead and fly them that extra distance up north and take them there. All right, spy could possibly start getting a little interesting here. Well, that's cool. Do you? I would assume that you get a lot of. I would hate to say it, but business from the nursing home that's attached to the hospital. By rejected off that level, and looks like we're losing the opening range as well. Oh dang, that sucks. That would be the worst part of it. I don't know if I can handle that. Hmm. About an hour in, guys. Kind of a crappy morning. AMD with a big drop off of that all time high or that 52-week high level. We break this support here, we could try to make new lows, new low of the day. I clean and don't normally have to go into patient rooms, so I don't have to deal with it hands on. Yeah, I think that would be tough. I really do. I think that would be the hardest part of working in the hospital. Well, I mean, I guess working hands on with a patient, like in the ED or up on the levels or something, being like a nurse or doctor or something. Yeah, I don't think I could do that, Chris. More power to you, buddy. Yeah, definitely not for everybody. Plus the hours and everything you work. Jeez. Three in the afternoon or three in the morning? Can't be three in the morning. So it's got to be three in the afternoon to 11:30, right? Because I mean, you're here trading, so yeah, that's true. Do you end up working over that 11:30? But see, you're out west. Here it's 10:30, so it's what 7:30? Were you? I'm pretty sure you were in the group. Remember, we had that one guy that was in the group from Hawaii. I know we got people from all over the world, but he was from Hawaii. I have. There's been mornings I've been there until 2 a.m. Jeez. Um, but heck, I'm up at that time, usually texting you anyway. Um, but that there's that guy that was in the group in Hawaii. When we would get up and start at 9, it was like 6 or something. He would have to get up before 5. Market open 6. Yep. So you're 3 hours behind. I want to say he was like 4, being Hawaii, and there's that push on spy I was looking for, and he was having to get up before 5, and I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Sounds familiar. His name was Scott. I don't remember if his Telegram name was different or not. I have a hard enough time getting up and going when the market opens at 9:30 and getting everything set up by 9 o'clock here. Um, I can only imagine. All right, guys, we PT'd on another trade. This one. I think he was 2 hours ahead of me. You mean behind you? If it's 6:30 there, it'd be 4:30 in Hawaii. Because we're ahead. We're 3 hours ahead. Anyway, if you're following us on stream and anyway, if you're following us on stream and this was alerted to the group by my buddy here, Chris, that's following us, or I'm chatting with on YouTube. You guys on Twitch can't see it, but you can hear our side of the conversation. But anyway, he alerted this one in the private group, and we were able to take 20% off of that one. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So we did the wolf. Let's see. Alerted. 36. PT on this one was 0.43 for 20%. And that's the reason why we're trying to build the community, both here on stream and in the private group, because we all help each other. Our main goal is for everybody to make money, and usually we do it pretty well. Oh, hey, Chris, remind me, I finished that spreadsheet. I think I posted it for last week's spreadsheet in the private group yesterday. Remind me to post that out on social and everything today, if you can. By retesting now. No problem. There's been some hype on this lately. Might be worth keeping an eye on. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can keep an eye on it. We can we'll keep an eye on it today and tomorrow, and then maybe look at picking up some longs on it. Cool. Thank you, sir. Spy might try and push. It's thinking about it. Few things wanting more to the upside: Google, Nvidia, Tesla. On that wolf, is that what you're talking about, Chris? I I haven't, but you know me, I try to stay out of a lot of that. I mean, I listen to some investment stuff, but you know me, I try to focus just more on what the market's doing. So this new up and coming stuff, unheard of stuff, kind of. I guess I'm kind of in the dark, but I kind of almost do it on purpose. Like BLSH that we talked about on stream yesterday, bullish. IPO'd yesterday. It was set to IPO at 37 and it opened at like over 100, I think. I had no idea. And somebody came in on stream yesterday and asked about it and what my thoughts were. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I had to do some research. And somebody came in on stream yesterday and asked about it and what my thoughts were. Research. Kind of do that on purpose so I can stay focused on what we do. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're into that, doing a lot of research and the scanners and stuff like that. I mean, which is completely cool. I think I think it's awesome. There's a couple that popped up on my radar a while ago that seem like they're getting attention now. Feel free to post those up in the group too, especially if you think it's something that we can benefit from. You know me, I like the option side of things better than commons, but I'm good with it. Hey, I'm gonna shoot you a PM, Chris. Diversification. That's the key to the Roth IRAs and those retirement stuff is diversification over different sectors. Good push on Wolf. Wolf dropping back. Be careful you're in this one. We had that big spike down and it kind of recovered, but we seen a little bit of pullback. And yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. We touched that 8 even mark. So profit taker stepping in, trying to take some off that push. So we could push back up. Key level here on SPY. Watch this area. We could see more to the upside. We're holding this peach line, which I like. Definitely something to keep in mind. IWM looks like it broke and retesting VWAP now. If you're just joining us and new here, on my charts, this dotted green that you see here, that's our VWAP. So we're just now coming down into VWAP here. Market is kind of wanting to move, but then kind of not. So we had that big drop on PPI this morning, and we tried to push back up off of that, and some stuff kind of pushed. Profit taker stepped in, and now trying to push again. So we're getting some movement, but not a good sustained movement. We're getting some, decent stuff like this. That was a good one, but it's hard to really catch. We're in this range, so to speak. And when I say range, in the range could be we're stuck between two indicators, like IWM's been in a range today here, or same thing like Tesla. Um, it's a big, or same thing like Tesla. Um, it's a bigger. We're not trading outside of this or this. We're not getting that movement out of where it has been trading. So that just makes it a little bit more difficult to not really predict, but predict what it's doing. While we got a minute, we're just kind of watching a few things. If you're following us on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and give us the thumbs up. That really goes a long way and helps us out. The lithograms and stuff like that. If you're on Twitch, please make sure you follow. We've had a few of our followers actually started gifting subs and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. We really appreciate the support there. So if you follow along, you could get one of the subscriptions when those get handed out. But we are in the works of trying to set up our subscription levels and our bits and do some more fun, entertaining stuff here on Twitch. We haven't been streaming long. We've been streaming a little over a month now. I'm not a streamer. I'm not prior to streaming. I would watch Twitch every now and then on some gaming stuff and some other stuff just for the heck of it. Never really watched much YouTube live stuff, but so this all is new to me. So, so bear with me, hang in there. If you're a streamer, and it doesn't have to be a stock thing. If you're a streamer and you've got some ideas on things that we can do, change, or add to make it better, please let me know. Spy breaking that peach line, which was hoping we'd push. But yeah, if you got any ideas on how to make the stream better or things we could add to take away from what have you, please let me know. Our goal, like I said, is to build the best trading community we can. So Walmart was a nice push there. Looks like IWM losing VWAP. Sorry, guys, we was chatting in the private group there for a minute. Hope everyone is having a good trading day so far. A little choppy. We're in three trades actually. One being a swing, so I'm not too worried about that. We got time on that. 2 day trades. One is trying to come back, which is looking good actually. We just PT'd on that one, so scaling out of that one, that's what that thing was. But we're in one more, not looking the greatest. But hey, we'll take a loss. Anyway, let's get this one posted. This one on PayPal was a little bit of a roller coaster. We got it here, came up, thought we were going to PT, dropped back down, and recovered. So good trade. I don't mind when we have those little bobbles. This one, PayPal 68p alerted this one at 0.26. PT on this one was 0.31 for 20%. So good trade. Sorry about that, guys. Looks like OBS kicked me off, but we're back. I apologize about that. Looks like we're back both on YouTube and Twitch. Yep, don't know what happened there. OBS acting stupid. Good push here on Google. Good push here on Google, and two things that we were watching there in the private group. Yep, sorry about that, guys. Hopefully, we didn't lose too many of you. If you're watching either Twitch or YouTube and something like that happens and we're still into that 9 to 12 ish range and I didn't say bye, then we'll come back as soon as everything realigns. So just sit tight and ride it out with us. Now looks like we just lost Google. So Google, Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, PayPal, and now Apple as well to the downside. IWM to the downside. Key level here on IWM. So watch for more to the downside there on SPY. We could see a downtrend. That wolf is trying to push again. IWM is trying to hold on. So this is opening range low, pre-market low. We're trying to get out of this range here that we've been trading in. So far we haven't. It looks like we held on IWM and we got a bounce here off this opening range on SPY. I'm not sure if we're going to see another push here on SPY or not, but Apple, Google, Nvidia, all trying to push back. Tesla was a small pushback as well, so we'll see. Still early. This 644.52 is going to carry a little bit more weight as we were used, as it has been shown that we're pretty well respected over the last day or so. And once again, that's opening range low on Wednesday, so we could break it. Then we'll have room to the upside, but we need to see. Trying again. See what I'm saying about this is holding more weight than I feel like it probably should. No, I agree, Chris. Full of fake outs. We start getting that direction, and the market says nope. Tough trading day today. And there goes SPY back through that opening range. Good news though that PayPal's still dropping. So we got new high there. If you're in this PayPal, we are writing this peach line down. Make sure you're following that and move your stop loss up as this trade continues. That's a little big drop. There goes another step up there on that PayPal. So make sure you're managing this. We just had a big drop on SPY. IWM broke that level we were watching, and Tesla TSL both broke to the downside. AMD, Nvidia. So we could definitely see some more to the market downside if we definitely get some room for consolidation on all these big drops like we've talked about in the past. Um, I don't know if I would chase these, wait for that consolidation to come back a little bit, and then maybe try to get in. But we could easily set up for more to the downside coming in this afternoon hours. So this is exactly what I was talking about. We had that big drop, and now we're getting that green, which could easily soak back up that for that consolidation. So So we had this drop. We're still, looks like we're trying to consolidate here on SPY and a little bit here on this Tesla. That's why we don't chase these big drops. Now we're looking at a retest here on IWM, coming back into this pre-market low. For this to continue, we want to get this peach line through here, soak up that consolidation, and get this moving support and average under this line. Then we would start looking at entries. You're focusing in on entries is very important. %, transparency. We had a alert given out on SPY. It was here. We broke this opening pre-market high. We had good volume. I thought, and that was my mistake, I thought we were going to push into this candle. Went with a call, and it quickly reversed. We lost this. Definitely should have waited for the retest. Once this closed red, then I should have waited for that next candle, because we never got the confirmation, the C over C or C under C that we talk about in the private group. And we dropped back through this opening, this pre-market high, and then as you can see, we downsided it. So took a loss today on SPY. It happens, no big deal. But waiting and watching these retests is important. So as we were talking about this SPY, this IWM we were just looking at came back up, retested this pre-market low at 227.47, and we lost it. So now we're back over it. So this to the downside is kind of a no go, I guess you could say, null and void. It's even if we drop back for the next candle, this cycle repeats itself. We gotta wait, and we gotta get that confirmation, and we're not. So never got the confirmation here. We didn't take this trade, of course, but we didn't get the confirmation here either, and we lost on that one. Hold on one sec, guys. Sorry about that. The dog was beating on the door. So we tried to consolidate a little bit here on this Tesla, and it did get confirmation once more to the downside with these two candles. We still have some consolidation here. Basically, we got room to come back up to this peach. So this is still a risky trade. We do have this support level coming up at 330.88. So if you did get in this trade, you know here we could potentially see a bounce. So it would definitely be a risky trade. Not taking it, just walking it through with you guys. But these are some of the things you've got to keep in mind when you enter these. You can't just blindly buy and hope for the best. Just like this PayPal we were watching here and here. PayPal back down 37, still over entry, still over PT. So I'm okay if you're still in runners, no big deal. But we are now losing this peach line, so we quickly need to drop back below it. We do have this these two red lines here to contend with. So we could see more to the downside, but this is goes back to you got to ask yourself, am I willing to take a bigger hit on it? What am I comfortable making? So on and so forth. I mean, we were in at 26. It's now at 37. We were at 44, but we're still $11 in the profit. And this is goes back. I know I'm jumping all around. I apologize. This is the consolidation that we were talking about here on SPY. We dropped down, we consolidated back up to this peach line and dropped down again. But these big candles, what does that mean? Room for consolidation. So as you can see, we're slowly climbing back up. We are following this peach line, which is nice, but we want something like this, that slow and steady. As you can see, then we had that big push, and what happens? That's when that chop comes in. If you get this slow and steady, that is key. So we've got the slow and steady to the downside here on PayPal. That's what we're looking at. Or run with really tight stops, but that takes practice. Yes, no, I agree, Chris, 100%. So what Chris is saying is run with a tight stop loss. So if you do get these movements out of the blue and it kicks you out of a trade, you're not getting soaked up like we did here. And then you can reevaluate the trade and re-enter new trade, new set of rules, so on and so forth. But running a tight stop loss, the only tough thing about that is you've really got to watch it. You've got to run it off the charts. You hit a stop loss, and now watch for that, either that continuation, that correction, consolidation, what have you. Levels become targets on scalps. Also comes with practice. I agree. Levels, if you're new to trading and you're struggling a little bit and you don't have levels on your chart, levels are by far the number one game changer in trading. Some platforms like Robinhood, you can't draw levels, you can't do indicators, stuff like that. You're doing yourself an injustice if you're not setting up support resistance and your levels. So if you guys are out there, need help with that and not in the private group, let us know. Let's get you in. Let's get you some help. But that's key. Yep. And expect a smaller TP. Good for sideways markets. I agree. Sideways markets definitely lower that PT to get out of that trade sooner. And if you have the cons, you can set up a runner. But yeah, if you're normally at 20%, drop that down to 10%. Any money, any green is better than any red. Firm believer in that. Oh, gosh. Yeah, your levels do have to be accurate for it to work. You can't just randomly draw stuff on the chart and hope for the best. You've got to know what you're doing, which we can definitely help. Yeah, SPY wanting more to that downside. This Babas of Nicolaitis is starting to come back pretty good too. He averaged down on that one too, and I thought it was going to bite him in the butt, but he pulled it off. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and give us a thumbs up on today's stream if you like it. Really helps us out and goes a long way. Vice versa, if you're on Twitch, make sure you give us a follow. Um, Definitely new to the streaming thing, so all those likes, subscribes, follows definitely helps us out and lets me know you're enjoying what we're doing and makes me want to continue. And then if you got any questions, comments, or any of that, just want to say hi, post up in chat. Uh, I don't mind at all. That the chat really helps things move along and not so boring for me just listening to myself talk to myself. Another pop there on Babo. Big push. Holy. definitely not the market to be greedy in. Yeah, 100%, Chris, 100%. And if I know we talk a lot about runners and setting up runners and all that, but if you're not comfortable setting up runners and managing runners, don't grab your entry, set up your profit target, and let it run. If it feels fantastic, don't worry about the runners. If you have problems with your runners and the runners are going red or making the trade go red, then they're 100% not worth it. Yeah, this market is not the greedy market. It goes back to that 1% that we were talking about, Chris. Big pop there on SPY. It looks like about everybody's seen that pop. IWM, the chips, Google, Apple, Tesla. Goes right back into this chop and exactly what we were talking about, Chris. You can't be greedy in this market. If you do, it's gonna eat you alive. There's been a couple rough days. I was happy to make $1. It ain't much, but going back to learn off of what I did, paid way more. No, I 100%. I if you're not journaling your trades, you need to journaling your trades. Um, is invaluable. You can go back and look at your trades. You can see what you did and hold yourself accountable. Like when I journal my trades for today, I'm going to put down that loss on SPY and put why I was a dumbass on there and why I lost on that trade. So then tomorrow, if we look at SPY and same setup, I'm like, man, I wrote about this in my journal last night. I'm going to not do that again today and know that I don't know what I lost on that trade, but know that that $100 loss that I took um, came at a price for me being an idiot. So it happens. Definitely human. I mean, and you're right. Some days it's better to make a buck than lose a buck or $100 or $1,000, whatever. But this push back up is killing our directional momentum that we were starting to gain. So all right, guys, probably going to wrap it up. Going into lunchtime, things are just still bouncing around. Had a good day. Took that one hit on spy. Everything else played. Going to do some stuff. I got some stuff I got to do this afternoon for the private group. I am going to post up our spreadsheet from last week. Actually, if you guys are watching, I can put it up here real quick, and we can talk about it here in closing. So this is everything we did last week in the private group. Um, Good, bad, happy, sad. This is every trade we took. You can see we took a small loss on Tesla on Monday, SPY on Tuesday, and a Google on Thursday. So we had 17 trades overall, and we had 3 that didn't hit our profit target. Is that bad? No, I'll take that every week. Then we had 6 that hit our profit target from entry, and I believe all these were 20%. So they all hit our 20% profit. And then we had 8 that ran over 100%. So all in all, we had over 2,000% on on our gains potentially last week. So really all in all a solid week in the private group. Like I said, we have nothing to hide. We show you our wins, show you our losses, and really here to help you learn how to be a profitable options trader like this, and are here to do anything we can to make you into a profitable options trader. So if you are interested in learning how to do this, how to get more in depth with your trading, so on and so forth, if you're looking at needing help with support resistance, indicators, entries, exits, mindset, pretty much anything, feel free to reach out to us. Our website, SpartanDTGroup.com, is pretty easy. There you can see all of our information, all of our subscription levels. We offer a 7-day free trial on all of our subscriptions. That way you can get the full effect. You're not committing to anything. You're not having to pay anything. No contracts, no obligations. But you get a full week insight into what we offer. If it's good for you, great. Stick around. Let's grow. Let's change things, and let's change your life. If it's not for you, hey, no big deal. Cancel. We'll remove you. No harm, no foul. And then you're more than welcome to come hang out with us here on stream every day for free. But those guys in our platinum group will get all of our entries, our exits, our profit targets, all this in real time. Not to mention you get chat, which those guys are actually blowing chat up right now. As I'm talking about this, I don't know why, but we will. I'll check that out as soon as we get off stream here. But you'll get chat, you get the training room with trading videos, trading topics, a bunch of stuff in there, which I honestly really need to keep working on. I've got a bunch of stuff in mind that I got to push out to those guys. Then you get classes when we have them. You get weekly one-on-one sessions with me. We'll pick a time. We'll sit down. I'll show you my actual trading screen. We can go over any questions, concerns you have, and you and I will work through those problems. We can set up goals, targets, whatever you have, and we do those weekly. But yeah, check it out. Like I said, 7-day free trial, no risk. Just it's there if you want it. I'm not a high pressure salesman. I'd throw it out there because we offer it. If you take it, great. If not, no big deal. No skin off my back. We are going to keep doing what we do. We're going to keep having weeks like this. So completely up to you guys, but I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging in with me. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up for today. If you're on Twitch, like I said, make sure you follow. We've only been streaming a little over a month, so we're still trying to grow that audience and our reach there. So any like, subscribe, and follow on Twitch goes a long way to help us out. And it shows me that you are enjoying our content, and honestly pushes me to do it even more every day. And plus you get to see when we go live. So I appreciate it, guys. Have a great day. Make sure you stay safe trading. Things are choppy today. So like Chris and I were talking about, any profit is better than any loss. So keep that in mind and make sure you trade safe. And I will see everybody back tomorrow morning, right? 9 o'clock Eastern. we'll get set up and get rolling before the market opens. So yeah, I'll see all you guys in the morning. Have a great night. Bye, guys.